Welcome to the UnKnown show with Kra-Z Wren-A. I had to do the show all over again because I had my mic muted the whole half of the show, so I had to delete it and start over. Yeah, well, that's what normal people do. So, I'm just a normal people. So, I got this cute little story to read to you. It says, what? What did it say? What? I don't know. Somebody's talking to me. Okay, it's, what the frack is this crap? Okay. It has a little plate of green eggs and ham on a plate, and his plate says Monsanto. Hang on a second. I'm slobbering on myself. It says, I will not eat GMOs in my house. I will not eat them with my spouse. I will not eat them from a box. I will not eat them from Guy Fawkes. I will not eat them here nor there. I will not eat them anywhere. I won't be duped by Monsanto scam. I will not eat green eggs and ham. Woohoo! I like that. Yes, that's funny. Okay. And on with the news. Okay. Here we got a good one. Cattle mutilations are back and the strangeness is extreme. Cattle mutilations are back with a frightening vengeance, and the strangeness is so high that it is literally off the charts. Animals dropped from a height, entire brains missing, and these bizarre findings are just the beginning. Extensive veterinary testing is only deepening the mystery. No longer are ranchers and most law enforcement spreading absurd coyote stories. The mutilations are now an admitted mystery and so bizarre that many whose animals have been victimized will say openly that they believe in a high strangeness explanation for the problem. Listen as Linda Moulton Howe has a frank and open discussion with a rancher whose animals have been victimized. He also reports that the military helicopters have been present in the area, and incredibly he has found images of some of his destroyed cattle on Google Earth. Huh? Well, okay, the military is doing something to them, or they are chasing something and watching something doing something to them. Okay, cattle mutilations closing in on an explanation at last. Yeah, right. It's one of those disinformation stories. Okay. Okay, there has been a genetic harvest going on here on Earth at least for hundreds of years. It primarily involves cattle. Linda Moulton Howe has been researching it in depth for 35 years, and she and Whitley have discussed it many times on Dreamland. Dreamland it is. This time by analyzing what happened recently, and above all, where it has not happened. They are able to draw some conclusions about it, make a lot more sense than the usual speculation that the animals are being studied or that it's all been done by the government or by cults. Well, I don't think cults can suck body parts out of a cow without leaving any kind of incisions, okay? Yeah, right. That's just a bunch of BS right there. Okay, this discussion will open your mind about one of the enduring mysteries of our time and take you down some new paths that lead closer to a solution than ever before. Don't miss the free illustrated sampler of Whitney Strieber's new thriller Alien Hunter. To get your copy, click here. Ooh, yeah, whatever. Talk about strange. Oh, yeah, that's about... Well, you know, I've been kind of watching these cattle mutilation stories myself. They've been finding a lot of those. They found a lot of those a long time ago in the 70s. I kept finding articles in the newspaper about cattle mutilations, and I read the article, and it was saying stuff like, you know, their guts and stuff were taken out, and there was no incisions anywhere on the cow. They couldn't figure out how, you know, these guts in the cow are getting taken out, brains, guts, you know, livers, kidneys, all the organs, you know, just get taken out. No incisions whatsoever. Some of them were drained. The blood was drained. weird things like that. I'm thinking that some UFO came down, sucked it out through its mouth, and took it with them, and they're making cows with the organs, or they're doing something up there. They're sticking the organs in some kind of microwave, and they're making boing, and a cow pops out. Yeah, I know it sounds weird, but that's what I'm here for, to be weird. Okay. You got it? Got it? All right. I'm glad you got it. So, yeah, and nobody believes in UFOs. Well, I tell you what, you just don't know until you see one, I guess. You have to see one to believe it, because if you don't see one, you ain't going to believe nothing, people say. Just like, like when you get a health problem, you try to explain a health problem to somebody that doesn't have it, and they just look at you like, duh. They don't know. They don't know till they have it and feel it. They don't know what you're going through. So, people just, that's the way people are, You're all crazy. Anyway. Well, I'm crazy too. But people say I'm crazy. People say I'm crazy, and I think people are crazy. I think other people are crazy, and they think I'm crazy. Oh boy, we're all crazy. That's what I think. Anyway. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm here for, to be crazy for the crazy people. Because the crazy people like me. Ah! Yeah, you know who you are, too. Woohoo! Anyway, let's see what else. What else could I find? It's interesting. Well, we got boring news, but, just Obama and jihadists and Kurds in Syria, and just this stuff is the stuff I'm trying to get away from, because there's too much of it. Oh my gosh, there's too much of it. It goes on forever. Here, I like this one. 7 ways booze is more dangerous than pot. You got it. Well, I'll tell you, I don't have to read that. I can tell you. You get in a car, you're drunk. You run over somebody. When you smoke pot, you sit in your house, on the couch, with your friends, smoking and laughing. And you don't want to go anywhere. Somebody knocks on the door, your buddy's like, oh, it's the police! Hide! Hide the pot! Hide! Quick! Hide it! You ain't gonna get in a car and drive around stoned. How many people do that? I mean, at least all the friends I ever had that we used to hang around with in the 70s long ago, we wouldn't go outside. We wouldn't go outside the house. The doors would be locked and everything. Everybody be all paranoid that the cops are going to come and bust you for some pot smoking. Yeah, right. Whatever. Oh my gosh. People are so, and drunks. They love getting in the cars, I have a story I'm not going to tell because it's too sad, but I know somebody that, passed away from doing the exact thing, getting in a car after they're drunk, and driving it, they just killed themselves and wasted their whole life, the rest of their life, and for a little booze, and getting in that stupid car. You just don't get in a car and drink, I mean, one time I did that. I got in the freeway. I was drunk. I was on the freeway in my car, and I actually had to get on CB radio. I had a CB radio in my car at the time. I had to get the CB radio to find my way home. I didn't know where I was at. I was totally lost because I was drunk. Duh. And some trucker actually got on there and got a map and stuff and figured it out for me. Oh my gosh. That was so cool. But, I was on the freeway, and I swear I was floating on marshmallow. That's what it felt like. I was driving, and it felt like I was driving on a marshmallow. And I was like, this is weird. I think I'm going to do this again. And I didn't either, because I knew, that if I kept doing stuff like that, I was going to end up dead for sure. You just don't do those things, People, young people, especially in their 20s, they do crazy stuff. Oh my gosh, I remember being in high school, and being in the back seat, and there'd be a car full of kids, right? And the driver would like start driving like erratically all over the place, right? All crazy. And he'd be like, we'd be going, the car would be coming up on the right, and then it would go on to the left, and we'd be sliding in the back seat, sliding back and forth, slide to the left, slide to the right. We're all smashing into each other. We're all getting squished. If you were in the middle, you were, the meat of the sandwich, you were getting squished like a bug, and it didn't feel too good. And some of the girls, the girls were screaming and stuff like that. So, I'm sure all you guys out there remember stuff like that. You all did stuff like that. I mean, I got a car one time, and the guy, he was like driving around in a and then he would pull up. He was one of those little cars, it was like a rent-a-car. He'd pull up the emergency brake because it was like one of those pull-ups, like right in the middle of your console, and you pull it up and you can put your emergency brake on. He'd be driving kind of fast, and he'd pull his emergency brake, and then the whole car would start spinning around in circles. Whee! Oh my God! And I'm sitting there going, oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! I never knew it could do that, And then, oh my gosh! Just a second later, here comes a cop. He caught him doing it. And he gave him a ticket, too, for doing that. Even though he was on a parking lot, there wasn't anybody around, there was no buildings, there was no people, just me and that guy. And he gave him a ticket anyway. It's like, go figure, huh? But I guess he didn't want him to kill himself or something, I guess. I don't know. He was trying to teach the kid a lesson. But, anyway.